Lemonade announced that they will be offering pet insurance, and it got me thinking, does their book of millennials paying $5 a month for insurance really want to buy pet insurance from them? Who is buying pet insurance? Who is considering it? How do people want to buy pet insurance? I had a ton of questions that I could not find answers to. So, because I'm the world's nerdiest insurance nerd who is also obsessed with marketing, I conducted my own market research. And I have so many fun numbers to share, so let's dive in and talk about the pet insurance market and figure out if Lemonade is making a huge mistake. Insurance has actually been on my mind a lot the last couple months as a consumer. My two dogs, Sammy and Tess, were starting to get up there in age and starting to get real expensive at the vet, particularly Tess. I took her in for her checkup last year and came out with a solid 4 figures of recommendations. At 12 years old, she was arthritic, sick, and on like 5 different medications. It was agonizing watching her suffer. She was seriously just the sweetest, most lovable dog you've ever met. I know everyone says that about their dogs, but she really was. And every time I signed another credit card slip at the vet, I was so grateful that we had enough expendable income to cover her treatments. What about the people that can't? The people that love their dogs as much as I do, but literally can't take on an unexpected expenditure to take care of their sick or injured pet. Literally, like, my heart hurts when I think about the additional agony that must add for those pet owners. So I started thinking about the value proposition that pet insurance offers various consumer groups. And shortly after I made a note to research pet insurance, I had a few friends and family members mention it when I talked about Tess. Surprisingly, in a casual way, like, holy crap, how many medications is she on? I hope you have good pet insurance. Who do you have coverage through? To which I was like, no one. I guess I'm self-insured. And I started thinking, is this a common thing? Does everyone else already have pet insurance? Am I a late adopter in my own industry? So this is how I ended up conducting my own research on pet insurance. I was like a kid on Christmas morning going through the results. My laptop, a glass of wine, piles of brand new market data to explore. Does it get better than that? I don't think it does. Now, I am an insurance nerd, not a McKinsey analyst, so this is just a finger on the pulse kind of study. Sample size of 100 dog and cat owners, the pet owners most likely to purchase pet insurance. Respondents were evenly distributed across 3 generations, Millennial, Gen X, and Baby Boomer, across all US geographies and income ranges. So let's dig into the data. Spoiler alert, pet insurance is a big business. 67% of US households, 85 million families, have a pet. So the total addressable market is basically massive. According to the North American Pet Health Insurance Association, 2.43 million pets were insured in North America in 2018. One common millennial stereotype is that we are obsessed with our pets, which, okay, a lot of us are, but I don't think we're completely alone in that. Gen Xers and Boomers, I see you at the dog park asking your lab's opinion on which area to go to first. I think there are a few of you who share our obsession. But my millennial respondents did reinforce this assumption. While 8% of baby boomers and 9% of Gen Xers surveyed currently had pet insurance, 22% of millennials did. When asked if they'd ever considered purchasing pet insurance, almost exactly half of boomers and 47% of Gen Xers said they had considered purchasing, whereas 65% of millennials said they had. But where do they want to buy it? This is where it got really interesting. When asked how likely they were to purchase or renew a pet insurance policy with a pet insurance company in the next 12 months, the results were relatively even amongst generations. About a quarter for boomers and Gen X and 33% of millennials. But when I asked how likely they'd be to purchase or renew a pet insurance policy if offered by their home and auto carrier, The amount more than doubled in each category. 69% for millennials, 56% for Gen X, and 50% for boomers. There are quite a few carriers who already offer pet insurance, like Nationwide, USAA, Geico, Progressive, and Farmers, to name a few. So there are plenty of options available, but it seems like they might have less awareness than the current pet company brands. I mean, if only 8 to 9% of Gen Xers and boomers currently have pet insurance, but over half would be likely to purchase from the current carrier, you'd think we'd already see more adoption in these groups. I would assume a sizable portion of these people are already insured with the carriers I mentioned that offer pet insurance. What would incentivize them to go from awareness to consideration to purchase? When asked how valuable they consider pet insurance to be on a sliding scale of 0, waste of money, to 100, very valuable, the average number was 53. And there was not a ton of variance by generation there. Millennials were 56, Gen Xers 51, and baby boomers 50. So like a hard maybe across the board? My anecdotal hypothesis is that there are a number of consumers like me who are distrustful of the coverage. I read through a few of the coverage summaries and still wasn't 100% confident that the policies would meet my specific needs. Pet insurance underwriters. Do policies cover emergency vet expenses if your dog, inexplicably eats a cardboard box? Asking for a friend. A friend named Sammy, who eats cardboard. So overall, the pet insurance market seems like a land of opportunity from an addressable market standpoint. Loss ratios are relatively low as well, often under 50%, which is likely in part due to quite a bit of co-insurance clauses. There's no vanishing deductible in pet insurance. So it looks like Lemonade might be onto something here. Maybe their budget-conscious millennial book is willing to quadruple their premium to cover their pets. And with 70% of Lemonade's insureds being pet owners, that is a pretty sizable, somewhat captive audience to upsell to. What do you think? Is the opportunity in pet insurance hype or substance? And if you've had pet insurance, what has your experience been? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to the Insurance Nerdery, where it is cool to be a nerd. I'll see you next time.